Well, welcome back to Oxygen Not Included. I am your humble host, SpoonsAsunder. Now, I have air here, and I put an ore scrubber here because I do want to find out what happens. So I might explore this within the next few episodes just to see what I can do to get rid of slime mold. So, because I'm going to need to do that eventually to capture a puffed and to get through here anyway. So I want to at least have an ore scrubber set up for that, and for if I make a mistake again or have to dig out a little slime lung elsewhere. So I also am getting rid of this water thing as we speak because it's useless right now, and I should be putting in another one right here after they all sleep. I also have another airlock going in down here because in order for that ore scrubber to work, it needs chlorine. And there's a little bit of it here, and a lot of it here, but still, I don't have a geyser of chlorine, so it's finite. So I really don't want to be using that willy-nilly like, so, but I need to access it to even put the piping in. I believe if chlorine is following the real world rules, that it's pretty darn heavy, so I should be able to dig into this through here without having a problem. I think I'd be more worried about the hydrogen here going up and getting into my base than I should be worried about the chlorine because it's got nowhere else to go. I'll be setting that up as well, and really the main reason I put this airlock here is so I can get to the geyser, because I really want to get that going so I don't run out of water. Like I said, there's not too much hurry because I'm setting up this one for the meantime. Food is still decaying because I have so much of it, but there are no good duplicates, so I just have extra food. So the way I'm setting up this new water source is to just have it pump through here and just put it all in the reservoir, because what I was doing before was leading it straight into my piping system and just going straight to use and not even dealing with this. But it is getting low, and I think I'll have a better idea of what I'm dealing with if I do it this way, because I don't think this will fill up at the rate it's going down. I still want to have some space to put geyser water, but I know I'm wasting power doing it this way, but it's not that bad. Oh, and they're almost done. So I do have more thimble reed fiber, and I believe I want to just make more Atmo suits out of it, because I don't want to go into the hot yet. I mean, they're going to need cool vests for dealing with the geyser, but they're going to need suits to even get to it before then. So I think I'm going to make more of those. So this is going now. I should be able to just turn this on and let it go. There we go. I guess someone actually has to come over there and turn it on. There's the water that's going to my reservoir. There it is. Okay. And I believe, yeah, it's similar temperature, so that shouldn't be a problem. But as you can see, it is starting to heat up, so I want to run stuff through this cold area. Let's check out what's in here as well. The facility is pleased to announce that starting this week, all Fridays will now be casual Fridays. Please enjoy the clinically proven distressing benefits of casual attire by wearing your favorite shirt to the lab. Only shirts? Why can't I have casual pants, or shorts, or skirts, or anything else? Note, any personnel found on facility premises without regulation full body protection will be put on immediate notice. But then it's not really casual Fridays, it's all a lie. Thank you and have fun. Admin. Yeah, they're lying to you. Let's rummage them. Rummage it. Can't rummage through the desk. A duplicate is ready. I hope they're good. Of course, you all still suck. Goodbye. Again. So the ore scrubber is built. I guess I get to select the direction on this too. So only disinfect the ones that are from this area, I guess. And all it needs is gas. Does it even need power? It doesn't need power. I guess it just, you put it in there for a while and the chlorine just, you know, does its thing and kills all the germs like it do. And there, now I have a pipe that's going all the way to that from way down here. All I have to do is dig into this and put a gas pump to get it out. I do need power though. I'll need power for these two. And other gas relays for oxygen. There. And if I can get these oriented right, there. Now they'll have oxygen. And of course, they still need power, so that will go there. Build that too. Build everything. Have they built any exosuits? They have. Nice. And it looks like the oxygen is getting to my suits. It's also going to the one that doesn't have a suit. So I guess you can load the dock without actually having a suit in it, which is good because then there's no lag time between when they're like actually out in the seats and you can't load it, so you should be able to just drop back in and get some oxygen real quick. That's a good way to do it. A quest. I think I've built all 4 now, if not, soon. Yep, there it is. Good. Now I have sort of an airlock on each side. Get rid of these ladders. I know they're fun and they're looking cool. Oh, guys all jumping all over them all the time. But you don't need them anymore. Joshua, deconstructing the ladder out from under himself. Why? But I do want another ore scrubber on this side, even though I don't think, like, there won't be much slime over here, because I thought that was all... Yeah, it's not in this direction, but there is some there, and I might just want it there anyway. Always running out of power. These guys have to run more. I think it's because I put in so many demanding buildings. Like, these suck a lot of power. I think it's 120 each. Yeah, 120 each, and I don't know if that's all the time or just when they're filling or what, but it's a lot of power. So I was kind of hoping that in this ice biome I would find some of those plants. I forget what they're called. Something that cools the air around it. It kind of breathes and cools things, because then I can take them and plant them in my base and use them for cooling. But I don't see any of them. Wheezeworts, that's what they're called. So I'm going to put a storage thing here. So because I'm in the ice biome now, I'm going to be digging out some snow and or ice, and I want a place to put it so it can melt. A new duplicate! I don't know why I bother getting excited about the new duplicates arriving. They always are terrible. Give me someone good, please. So there is some spare reed fiber now. I know they're sweeping, but when they wake up, they can make some cool vests out of them. I don't want them to wear them right away, but I want them available. So this one will get ice and snow, because the polluted ice goes in the other one, where the germs are. Wait, why is this breaking? Why is this breaking? What's wrong with it? It doesn't even say it's strained. Why did that wire break? Well, the power seems fine. I mean, I'm out of power, but it's not overloaded anywhere. I don't know. Maybe it was a fluke. Okay, I told Joshua to lock that door, as he just faithfully did. And I told them to dig out this. So I want to see if they actually will put on these suits to go do it. And he does. And then takes it right back off. Nice. Don't need that ladder anymore, so they just destroyed it. I like those suits. Okay, so now what I need is to take this pipe all the way over to the chlorine. I want to get it at the bottom, like here, because it's all going to sink to the bottom, and then just take it over there. Well, I think I want a valve in the middle first because, you know, that way I can shut it off if I ever need to, and that way I don't have to clear the whole pipe. I can just turn it off here and then use whatever's in the pipe, or somehow empty it another way. So, I'm gonna dig out here, because I think that'll be fine, and it won't cause any hydrogen problems. It is below the line, but even if some of it does seep up here, it won't be a problem because I'll lock this one. This shouldn't open it and allow it into my base. I'm gonna close this for now because I don't need it right away. And of course, it needs power. It is pretty hot in here, but they don't seem to mind. At least it's not stressing them out, so it's not too bad. I guess it only matters if it gets to the scorching. I don't know. Is it working? I think it's working. Yep, it's working. Hooray. Okay, so that does have chlorine. The reason I didn't let it through is because it might get other gases here eventually, and I do want to filter it before it gets to the machine. I don't need to use the machine right now, so I'm going to do that later. So, I'm starting to think about the geyser and how I want to do this. And I'm thinking that I want to take an insulated liquid pipe up here to go through here. Well, I'm not. Yeah, I should do that. Yeah, through here. And then on this side, it can be a normal pipe because I actually want it to accept the cold. And I'm going to put a valve in there to slow it down, potentially, depending on how much I want to cool it. And then on the other side, I need something that's thermally reactive, I believe. Because that'll do better with transferring heat from the outside to the actual liquid. At least, assuming the mechanics are all working. That's the theory, at least. I'm going to go with some igneous rock. And there's no slime lung here, so I'm going to just kind of use this whole area and dig it out for that. Like that, in a weird little circle. I'm leaving some space in here in case I want to expand it and do like even more of a heatsink type thing. But for now, I'm not doing that. And then of course it's going to be insulated again on this side. And go all the way here and over to the vent. Just like that. And hopefully that's enough to cool down the horrible boiling water that this thing kicks out. I still have to get into it, but that's a whole nother endeavor. And of course, you gotta dig out all of this, please. All of it. And of course they won't be able to do all of this because they won't be able to reach it. So I'm going to put in some ladders. They can, I think 3, 5 is what they can do. So I'm going to do that. There. So that's all ordered. And we'll see if it's effective. It's really just a theory at this point. But I got to build it and try. See, I know that as soon as I dig this thing out, it's dangerous because I've tried it in past games. They may have changed the geysers since then because they look entirely different since I tried to do this last, but it was almost impossible to contain all of the water that it kicked out as I was just building around it trying to hook something up. Because I was trying to put a room around it with a pump and everything, but it was not happening, so... What are you eating? There shouldn't be anything there. I don't know what he just ate. There hasn't been anything there to eat in a long time. Did you eat one of your fellow hatches? I think I only had 4 in there. Unless one of them died and he ate the meat. I suppose I do actually need a ladder here if I'm gonna have them build up there, because I don't want to let in the hydrogen. So, my mistake. I'll put that back for you. So, what I want to do to filter these, I'm going to get rid of that. All that, really. I'm going to connect those 2 filters. One of these is going to be hydrogen, the other one should be oxygen. Or should it? Okay, so I may have overcomplicated this, but what I have set up here that isn't quite built yet is 2 filters that are coming from this spot, because the gas here is so mixed, and I'm going to connect it here and do the same thing. Let me check on the duplicates first. Okay, now that those are all rejected, back to this. So yeah, this is all mixed, and I'm going to connect it to this room, and that'll be mixed, so whatever's coming in here is unreliable. So what I'm going to do is filter out the hydrogen here and send it all the way up here with a couple bridges and put it here, so it'll go to my power to make more power with these hydrogen generators. And if it's not hydrogen, it goes here, and the chlorine then is filtered out, and only that will go up here to my ore scrubber. And anything else, which should ideally only be oxygen and carbon dioxide, because nothing else should really get into that, I'm just going to put a vent here. So it'll go straight into my base. So there's the vent, and that's that. That's all built. So we need power, that's the thing, is I'm getting low on power because I'm building so many sources. I do have a natural gas geyser here that I could tap into and try to do the natural gas way of getting power, but it's hard to deal with it because I haven't done it before, and it's odd, and it produces a whole lot of polluted water and carbon dioxide along with a decent amount of heat. So I would have to isolate it is my thought, and get rid of the carbon dioxide by just keeping it isolated, and same thing with the heat. But the polluted water I can actually probably deal with, because this thing does not fill up really, and I can just use it to irrigate with these and put more plants in here if I really need to. So I might do that for power in the next episode. Oh good, they're building this thing. Slowly, but they're building it. Yeah, and it does look like these pipes are already getting cold, so that I think is a good thing, which means that whatever liquid would flow through it would also get cold, because it's flowing through cold pipes. At least that's the way my logic works. I hope the game matches it. I believe I can adjust how quickly it cools based on how much I let through with this valve, so, you know, I can just let it through slower if it's not cooling enough. I don't think that'll be a big problem. It looks like all these worms on a stick are dead, but they're not. Don't worry, they're not. We still have food. They're just ready to harvest. I set them so low that they'll just do it last, because we're already full on food. It can wait. I know it's not as efficient, but that's kind of the whole point. I don't want it to be super efficient because I'm getting too much of a surplus. That's interesting. It looks like they can't pick one up if it's out of power. I don't know why that is the way it is. I would assume that it only takes power to fill up the thing, but maybe they haven't fixed that yet or something. But yeah, they're not allowed to take a suit if there's no power. It just locks. That's the only thing the power is taking, apparently, is keeping the lock open, which is just a terrible design. They need to get their engineers on that. So this gas system is complete, and I'm gonna let it through and see what happens. So if I did this right, this should filter to the correct place. Yes, it's slow. I think that's just because it doesn't have enough power to run all the time. But yeah, these are going to the ore scrubber. What's going to happen there? Alright, I guess it just fills up and uses it whenever you purify. So, power is definitely my biggest problem right now, and I will be probably maybe getting into both of these geysers in the next episode, ideally, because that'll give me some power, and this will give me better water. But they're both a little iffy to try to get into, so it may be a little chaotic in the next episode. But I got a lot done this time. This system is almost ready for the geyser that will be in the next one. I assume so, at least. Is it being cool? It's, yeah, just sit there and be cool and wait. This ore scrubber is now officially ready for scrubbing. So if I do want to go in here, I am prepared to do some digging. Because that was the other reason that I didn't want to go in here, because I immediately hit slime lung wherever I go. So the oxygen I think I'd be fine with a suit, but if I dig anywhere, they're gonna just sweep it on their own without orders, because they do that because they're just stupid duplicates. And who knows, with any luck I might get a new duplicate in the next one as well, if they actually send me one that's halfway decent. Many thanks for watching this video, and until next time, may your spoons remain.